Hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. Put a heading on here. Today is day 15, EOC, geometry. Name, date, and period. Today's date is 5/11, and there it is. So let's take a look. It says, which statement is true about these two lines? Well, look at the choices. Parallel, perpendicular. Parallel is the same slope. Perpendicular, you have to flip it and change it. So if it's like -2/5, you would flip it and change it to 5/2. Coincide would be the same exact line. And intersecting but not perpendicular would look something like that. Okay, so let's take a look. So on this one right here, you want to get y by itself. Okay, so take the 3x, draw a line, circle the y. You want to subtract 3x from both sides. We're trying to get it in slope-intercept form here. And to do that, you're going to get this. Divide by -5. And your slope here is this. So it's a positive, double negative. It's a positive 3/5. So let's see what this one is. This one, all you need to do is add 2x to both sides. And when you add 2x, your slope is 2. So it's not the same, so it's not parallel. If you flip 2 and change it, it'd be -1/2, and this one is not -1/2. So it's not perpendicular. They're not the same because the equations are not the same. It's got to be this one. They intersect, but they're not perpendicular. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so what are the coordinates of the point, directed segment, partition, 3 to 2? Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to first lay it out just like this. You want to put K and then the point somewhere, and then point L. So this one is -5 and -4. This one we don't know, so it's x and y. And this one is 5 and 1. Okay? Now that we have it drawn up, it's a 3 to 2 ratio. So this one is 3 parts. This one is 2 parts. Okay? So what we want to do is set up something like a proportion. So we're going to have x minus the x. So x minus my x. And then you're going to have equal to the 3. And then down here, you're going to have y minus the y. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have the x minus the x. So now you got to do this x minus that x. Okay, so it's going to be 5 minus x. And then that is equal to 2. And there's your proportion, and you have to solve that. Then you got to do it for y. So you're going to write a similar equation. I'm going to use a different color so that you can follow it. So you're going to go y minus the y, and that one is going to be equal to 3. And then you're going to go y minus that y, so 1 minus y, and that one is going to be equal to the 2. Okay, now you got to solve these two equations and you have your answer. Okay, so make sure before we go any further that you understand the pattern. The pattern here is this x minus that x is equal to that, and then this x minus that x is equal to that, and then y minus the y is equal to that, and this y minus that y is equal to that. And now you're going to cross multiply. This becomes a plus. So you're going to get 2 times x is 2x plus 10 is equal to, and then you're going to multiply this by 3, That's going to be 15 minus 3x. And once you get to this point, you're going to add 3x to both sides, and that's going to give you 5x. So you're going to get 5x. You're going to move the 10, and it becomes a negative 10, so that gives you 5. So x equals 1. And here it is right here. You see how it says x equals 1? You could solve this for y, but you don't need to because that's the only one that has x equal to 1. And that's how you work that. And that is partition. Okay, let's try another one. This one was a 3-to-2 ratio, and that's the way you work it. This one is 1/3. So you're going to set up your points the same way. So you're going to do point A, which is this one. And then 1/3 of the way, you're going to have some point P, which we're going to call x and y, which we don't know. And then you're going to have B, which is over here, and we do know. That one is 12 and 4. So this is a 1-to-3. It's 1 out of 3 is what that is. So it's 1 out of 3 parts. So this would be the 1, and this would have to be 2. 3 minus 1 gives you 2, and that's 3 parts. 2 here and 1 there. So this is 1 out of a total of 3. And that's how you do that. So you're going to do it the same way. Okay? So you're going to take the x minus the x is equal to this x, or that number. Then you're going to take this x minus that x, so 12 minus y, minus x. 12 minus x is equal to that one, which is 2. Then you're going to do the y's. You're going to say y minus 2 is equal to this one. And then you're going to say y minus that y is equal to 2. All right, if you understood all of that, let me just double check my work. Okay, everything looks good. Now you got to cross multiply and solve it. And when you do, you should get 2 and 0 is the answer. Okay, so you got to cross multiply. That becomes a plus. Make sure you distribute. You got to cross multiply and work it out. I'll do this one right here. Okay, so that's going to be 2x plus 6 is equal to 1 times both of that is 12 minus x. Once you get to that point, you're going to add x to both sides, and you're going to get 3x. You're going to subtract 6 from the 12 and get 6, and you're going to get x equals 2. And that's what we have right here. Okay? Make sure you go over these partitions. It's just a pattern. Watch. X minus the x is equal to that one. X minus that x is equal to that one. And then you cross multiply. And then you go to the same pattern. Y minus the y is equal to that one. Y minus the y is equal to that one. You work it out. That's how you do it. Let's try one more. This one right here, it says point A. So we're going to do it the same way. We're going to set it up just like that and put point A. Okay? And then you have another point. This point is 3/4 of the way. Okay, so it's 3 out of 4 pieces. So it's going to be 3 out of 4 pieces. This would have to be 1, 4 minus 3. Okay, 4 pieces. 3 plus 1 is 4 pieces, and this one's 3 out of 4. And it tells you this one is 1 and 6. This one is what we're looking for, x and y. So we're looking for the endpoint here. Okay, where is point B? You're going to do it the same way. You're going to say x minus the x, so 1 minus a negative 5 is equal to that number, which is 3. And then x minus the x over x minus 1 over that number, which is 1. And that is the correct setup. Then you're going to do the y's. I'm going to use a different color for the y's. So I'm going to say 6 minus the 3 is equal to this number. Okay? And that's your y's. And then you're going to go y minus 6 is equal to that number. And you're going to cross multiply and you're going to divide, and the final answer should be 3 and 7. And I'm not going to work it, but the setup is correct. Make sure you understand the setup. Flip it over, please. Okay, let's take a look at this one. We're trying to make a square here. So what are the coordinates that are going to make a square? Let's think about this. Okay? Well, I would graph it. So if I graph it, I'm going to have over 6 up 7. That's point A. Over 7, 6, over 7, up 8. 7, 8. Okay? Over 7, okay, let me back up, sorry. Over 3, up 6. Okay, 3 and 6. That's point A. Over 5, up 2. That's point B. Over 9, 0. Over 9, up 4. So you know the answer has to be right here, somewhere over there. Now, the question is, what do you do to figure that answer out? Well, you want parallel. You want this one to be parallel to this one. So I would take B and C and figure out the slope. So I'd take 4 minus 2 over 9 minus 5. So the slope here is 2 over 4, which equals 1/2. And then I would try each of these points until you got slope 1/2. So point A is 3 and 6. And then we're just going to go right to the answer here, which is B, 7 and 8. And I'm going to show you that it works, okay? So let's put 7 and 8 and let's do the slope. So it's going to be 8 minus 6 over 7 minus 3. When you do that, you get 2 over 4, which equals 1/2, and that is the slope of the bottom line. That's the way I would do it. Okay? This one they want perpendicular to this one. So you got to first get y by itself. So subtract 3x from both sides. When you do, you get y equals negative 3x plus 2. Your slope is this. So you got to flip it and change it. So put negative 3 over 1, flip it and change it, and you get 1/3. So it's going to be y minus your y is equal to your slope, which is 1/3, and then x minus your x, which is 6. Okay, that's the setup, and now you got to solve this equation for y. Okay? Once you get to that point, I would multiply by 3. When you do, these 3's cancel. So you get 3y minus 24 is equal to x minus 6. You want to go ahead and add 24, and when you do, 6, that's 18. So you're going to get 3y is equal to x plus 18. And then you're going to divide by 3, and that's going to be 6. And this is going to be 1/3. So there's your answer right there. Make sure you understand parallel and perpendicular. That is correct. Now it says, which equation represents parallel to that line? Well, the slope is 2. So we need the same slope. This one is not the same slope. Let me push that up. Okay? This one you want to subtract 2x, and that's not the same slope. This one is a possibility. You want to add the 2x, and that would be a plus 2x, and that's what we have. This one is going to be a plus 2x, but you got to get rid of that negative, so it's going to end up being a negative 2x. So the answer choice for this one is C. All right, one more. Select all equations that represent perpendicular. Well, you got to take 2, put a 1 under it, and then you got to flip it and change it. So when you flip it and change it, let me put this in spot, you get a negative 1 over 2. So we want a negative 1 over 2. So in this case, this one has negative 1 over 2. This one, let's see, the only other choice is going to be this one. And you got to solve that equation for y. So you want to get y equals for all of these to pick the right answer. One more. What must be true to prove that line Q is perpendicular to line N? The slopes must be negative reciprocal of the slope of N. That's the one we want. Negative reciprocal. I say flip, change, but you're going to say negative reciprocal. That's it. Have a good morning.